If you're here, you're not looking for quick fixes. You're here because deep down, you know you're meant for more. You know there's another level in you, a level you haven't reached yet. And today, we're going to talk about something that separates the people who succeed from the people who vanish in the noise. We're talking about becoming the kind of person who doesn't quit. Not someone who occasionally pushes through, not someone who tries when it's convenient, but someone who has made quitting impossible. Someone whose identity is built around persistence so deeply that walking away isn't even considered an option. If you look at the world, you'll see a clear pattern. The people who create extraordinary results aren't necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They're the ones who keep showing up. They're the ones who refuse to let setbacks define them. They treat obstacles as part of the process rather than a sign to stop. Think about it. Every field, every craft, every dream is littered with people who had potential but disappeared when it got hard. And the reason? They built their effort on a foundation of motivation, not discipline. They built their commitment on feelings, not on identity. But those who refuse to quit, they operate differently. For them, the work isn't just something they do. It's who they are. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. Quitting is easy because it offers instant relief. When you walk away from something hard, there's a moment of comfort. You don't have to struggle anymore. You don't have to deal with the pressure. But that relief is temporary, and it always comes with a cost, the cost of what could have been. You might feel better in the short term, but deep down, part of you knows you just gave away a piece of your potential. And the more you quit, the easier it becomes to do it again. Quitting is like a muscle, use it often enough and it grows stronger. But so is persistence. Every time you stay in the fight when it's easier to walk away, you train your brain to see yourself as someone who finishes what they start. That's how you rewire your identity. The shift happens when you stop making quitting an option. Not when you feel inspired, not when the conditions are perfect, but when you decide that your commitment is non-negotiable. This means you stop asking yourself, do I feel like doing this today? And start asking, how do I get it done no matter what? It's not glamorous. It's not always exciting. But it's the difference between dabbling and mastery, between starting something and seeing it through. And when you commit like that, something changes in you. You begin to trust yourself on a deeper level. You know that no matter how bad it gets, you'll find a way to keep going. Look at any person you admire. The athlete who trains while everyone else sleeps, the entrepreneur who keeps building after years of failure, the artist who spends decades perfecting their craft. They all share one thing: the ability to stay in the game long enough to win it. They've built a tolerance for boredom, frustration, and setbacks that would break most people. They've learned that the path to greatness isn't about avoiding pain. It's about walking straight into it and coming out stronger. When you adopt that mindset, challenges stop feeling like roadblocks and start feeling like proof you're on the right path. Becoming someone who doesn't quit isn't about being fearless. It's about moving forward even when fear is screaming at you. It's about refusing to let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. It's about showing up on the days when your energy is low, your motivation is gone, and your results feel invisible because you know that consistency compounds. Every rep, every effort, every step adds up, even if you can't see the progress yet. And one day the dam breaks, the results hit, and you realize that everything you wanted was waiting just beyond the point where most people quit. So how do you actually become this kind of person? First, you redefine your relationship with failure. You stop seeing it as proof you're not capable and start seeing it as a tool. Every setback becomes data, information you can use to adjust, adapt, and come back stronger. Second, you build systems that make persistence easier. You don't rely on willpower alone. You design your environment, your routines, and your habits so that quitting is harder than continuing. Third, you surround yourself with people who challenge you to keep going. The truth is, quitting often feels normal when you're surrounded by people who accept it. But when you're in a circle of fighters, it becomes obvious that giving up is beneath you. The final piece is identity. You stop telling yourself, I'm trying to be disciplined, and start telling yourself, I am disciplined. You stop saying, I'm working on being committed, and start saying, I am committed. The words you use shape the way you see yourself, and the way you see yourself shapes your actions. If you believe you're the kind of person who always finds a way, you'll act accordingly. And over time, those actions stack into undeniable proof, not just for the world, but for you. Now, here's the uncomfortable reality. Becoming someone who doesn't quit is hard. There will be days when you want to. There will be moments when you question why you started. But in those moments, you need to zoom out and remember, your future self is counting on you. The version of you who's living the life you dream of, they only exist if you keep going now. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built one unbroken commitment at a time. So decide. Right here, right now, make the decision that changes everything. Decide that from this day forward, quitting is no longer an option you entertain, not even for a second. You're done flirting with the idea of giving up when it gets uncomfortable. You're done letting your emotions in the moment dictate the direction of your life. Decide that when the going gets tough, and you will get tougher. When the voices of doubt grow louder, your determination will grow louder still. Decide that no matter how many times you stumble, you will rise one more time than you fall. If you fall 10 times, you rise 11. If you fail 100 times, you rise 101. That's the identity you're building. That's the kind of person you're becoming. And if you're still unsure whether this is possible for you, remember this. Every person you've ever looked up to, every story that has ever inspired you, every role model you admire, they all started exactly where you are right now. They were unsure. They were untested. They were riddled with self-doubt and uncertainty. The only difference? They didn't let those feelings decide their fate. They didn't stop when the first obstacle appeared. They didn't quit when the journey took longer than expected. They didn't bow out when the results were slower than they hoped. They kept going long after others had given up, and that is why they stand where they stand today. If they could keep going through all of that, so can you. And if they didn't stop, neither will you. If this message hit you, if it stirred something inside you, then don't just nod your head and move on with your day. Take action right now. Commit in writing to the future you want. Drop a comment below and declare it to the world. Tell me, what's one goal you've been on the verge of quitting? What's one dream you've been keeping on life support, ready to pull the plug the moment things get difficult? And more importantly, how are you going to commit to it fully? Starting today, be specific. Don't just say, I'm going to try harder. Tell me exactly what you're going to do differently. Tell me exactly how you're going to refuse the escape route and burn the bridge to quitting behind you. What's one area of your life where excuses have been in the driver's seat for far too long? Is it your health, your business, your relationships, your personal growth? It's time to throw those excuses out of the car. Because here's the truth. Excuses are just lies your mind tells you to protect you from temporary discomfort, but in exchange, they rob you of permanent results.